So, one of the ways that you and I are being manipulated is obviously programming. But has this ever dawned on you? I'm gonna give you a couple shitty examples. And they're examples, I'm downplaying it. I'm also cooking as usual, so we'll see how this goes. So, I've never watched this. I know people who have. I'm talking about the Big Bang Theory, which is Jesuit propaganda through and fucking through. I've heard that there's a character named Sheldon, and I'm vaguely familiar with two of the actors. I imagine you probably are too, and some of you probably have watched this stuff. One more second, I'll show you some imagery, for all the superficial internet babies out there. If I'm not mistaken, this kid is in that Big Bang Theory show, and this is what I remember him from initially. Later in life, David from Roseanne, Suicide Kings movie. These are the two projects I've seen him in. And I'm pretty fucking sure he's Jewish. Just saying. The other kid, who's dressed up like a knight in Zionist Garden State movie. And this should be Sheldon, right? Yeah, Jim Parsons. Oh, good. It told us what I needed to know. And Zach Braff is Jewish. Does Natalie Portman have Ashkenazi Jewish blood? That's right. Padme's a Jew. Name, typically a Jewish last name. I'm referring to Fisher. This is a little sidebar. You do see what I'm talking about, right? Was Carrie Fisher Ashkenazi? Did she have Jewish blood? Oh, Princess Leia too. And I don't know, is Jim Parsons Jewish? Is Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, does he have Jewish blood? Jim Parsons? Is that the same guy? Maybe I'm wrong. Does not. Maybe that's not the same guy. What does Sheldon from Big Bang Theory look like? It's okay if you guys are having a laugh. Oh, it is the same guy. He just has facial hair. Usually I just see him like this. I mean, I can't grow facial hair for shit, so I can mock it because, yeah, he and I both do look goofy. Moving along. I said moving along, but it danced back. My fault. People get invested in these characters, and if you challenge the propaganda, they're probably going to argue in favor of it. They're going to squawk at you because on a deep-seated level, they've become invested in this garbage in a number of ways. It's also well-financed, well-circulated, which means it's normalized. I say this often. Most people don't understand it because it's propaganda through and through. It's how it works. Big Bang Theory TV show. Well, looking for an image. This garbage. The title alone tells you that it's dog shit. But it's a comedy. As a comedy, it's probably going to rope in a lot of people who technically are probably good people just looking for something lighthearted. Would you agree? And they'll probably watch it, especially in these dark times. But by doing so, they're going to digest the latest, well, this is old hat now, old school propaganda. I don't remember when this came out. When did the Big Bang TV show come out, and how many seasons are there, and is it still running? It is scary how quickly this thing can produce answers. Not that they're always accurate. Big Bang Theory premiered September 2007. It's got 12 fucking seasons. It is no longer airing new episodes. Alright. It's scary. And how many people watched it? How many people bought into what they spoon-fed you in there? Keep in mind, I don't know what's in this show. But I know I'm right. I know this show is full of fucking propaganda based on the title and the people who are involved. You could also waste time and energy, sorting out who financed this, who came up with this idea, who greenlit this. because it goes through a number of hands. You got all these kids who wax poetic about gatekeeping. You got people who are pulling our strings, and you only get to see stuff that they sign off on. Has that ever dawned on you? It should have. And the other bit to this is, you're digesting entertainment, propaganda that the 1% spoon-fed you and trained you to digest. In other words, you and I don't need this shit. I do love movies, do love books. I love storytelling. Really like mysteries. But the way it is, what it is, how it's always been, as far as I'm aware, at least as long as I've been alive, it's always been a big fucking red flag. And we dismiss it. We justify it. Myself included. Same applies to music. I already said books, but books and this type of jazz, this medium. Either way, this is another one of my, shitty presentations people don't like, because I'm not taking the time to craft this and spoon feed you something that looks really pretty and sounds super duper good. But what I did tell you, you can use as a tool which would benefit you and I to promote a harmonious system to help people pull their heads out of their fucking assholes and do the right thing. But what do I know? Here's another little tidbit. If Google's telling you that some of these folks, have no Jewish ties whatsoever, that's all fine, well, and Jim dandy. But you can start asking about that guy or that gal, whoever you're looking up, their parents. Do they have Jewish blood? You can start following up on maiden names. You can follow up on their last name. Is it typically speaking a Jewish last name? As this reads, cultural, and this has to do with Jim Parsons' husband Todd Splulik, which I can't pronounce. Cultural religious background. While Splulik is a surname that can be of Jewish origin, and his mother's maiden married name Rosen is also common in Jewish families, there is no official public confirmation from Splulik, Parsons, or reputable, there we go, biographical sources that explicitly states he or his parents are of Jewish descent or identify as Jewish. So the verdict's still out. Yeah. If you consider how most people in Hollywood do operate, typically speaking, you marry into a Jewish family if you are not, in fact, Jewish. But what do I know? I asked our Lord and Savior Google, what are some popular TV shows at the moment, and how many of you are digesting these? Now keep in mind, I watch a lot of this stuff, especially for the lesser magic, and or if it's a mystery. Right now I'm watching, what is it called? It's called The Staircase. It came out a while back. It's got the main gal and the dude, without giving you the details. I think they both suck a fucking donkey's dick. There have been some beats in this thing that have been enjoyable. And for the most part, it has been horrible. Surprise, one of the characters is bisexual and he's the main focus. But the way they handled it, it's in episode 2, if you guys do watch it, it was funny. I think they handled it with a measure of grace. And it was done well, even though there were numerous fucking people in the room. I imagine one of those actors would slip up, and pigeonhole something, or, just do something fucking ridiculous to promote the other garbage, but they didn't, as far as I'm aware. I enjoyed it. And keep in mind, this is the guy, me, who complains about a lot of this stuff. The point to take away from what I'm poorly telling you about while I'm fixing this bagel creature, you got to have eyes to see, and if you're not paying attention, you're probably going to digest something, repeat something, and believe in some bullshit that's going to fuck people up. Most likely. I said recent ones, and this is showing me old school shit. That's pretty good. That's at the top of the stack, right? Relevant, Google. Prison Break and all that other shit. That's old, too. I did enjoy Dark, if you guys have never seen it. You'll have to read captions, but it's fun. They start kind of fucking shit up. First season's really good. Second one's pretty fun. The third one gets kind of wonky, but as a whole, I still enjoyed it. And I still tell people about it, obviously. Either way, like I said, I do digest this shit. For perspective, I did watch all of Lost. I did watch, I think, all of The Walking Dead, unfortunately. I watched all of Game of Thrones. I made myself watch Breaking Bad because I grew up there and that show sucked for the most part. Sherlock, I couldn't stomach it. It's dog shit. Peaky Blinders was goofy. I did watch a lot of it. I enjoyed Taboo. Point being, I watched a lot of these. Prison Break I never watched. I had an ex that used to try to get me into that. An ex also got me into Game of Thrones because this is also how this will work. Our masters understand that familial and, just relationships in general, word of mouth carries clout, but you're also going to get pulled into some of this stuff. People are going to tell you that you should watch something. And if you don't, they might bring it up multiple times is what I'm trying to spit out. Poppy seeds or something on my fingertips and I can't focus. And so a lot of people will probably cave in. That's how I ended up with Game of Thrones. My ex showed me, you might have seen it. You probably did see it. A YouTube video where somebody just had a bunch of cats and the cats meow out the theme at the beginning, which is pretty fucking catchy. And it ropes you in. It roped me in. Full transparency. I have no idea what Banshee is. I did watch all of The Punisher, and I thought the initial stuff was good. I thought it was pretty good. The second season, the writing was not as tight as it should have been, and they really fucked up the Billy Russo stuff. Either way. And I made myself recently sit through all of the last season, that is, of Stranger Propaganda, Zionist things, and it was dreadful. There were a couple beats that were kind of fun. There were some laughs in it. There was a lot of propaganda, a lot of social engineering propaganda, which is being normalized, which is why I recorded this video. And also look into, if you never have, Netflix. The founding of that is dastardly. It all goes back to the MK Ultra sub-projects. These are the techniques that are being used in the programming, which is propaganda. And most people are not aware of this. Most people do not care about this. Most people would never give what I just said any time or day, let alone take time and energy to look any of it up. Most people, who was it? Who the fuck was it? I was complaining online at somebody who was shopping around Wake Up. I don't know if I left this video anywhere. I think I did on my primary Instagram account. And it's superficial shit, but somebody shopped around Wake Up. I reminded people that English is the phonetic reversal of Hebrew. I've had people dismiss that all the goddamn time. He's just trying to play records backwards. That's fine and dandy too. But I didn't tell, a lot of times I do spell it out, which you guys have seen me do. I didn't in this one, and I told these kids to go fucking figure it out. So I had two, I clicked on something. 1 second. Magic vision. So, there we go. I clicked on this. That doesn't surprise me. Either way, I had two kids chime in, and one of them just told me, to think for him because he was unwilling and or incapable of doing so. So I told him, fuck you. And that's the answer. But he never wrote me back. He never said thank you because I don't think he probably understood. I also told the other kid, fuck you, and something else too, because I forget what the other kid was rattling on about. The bottom line is, you can give people answers, but they aren't bright enough to recognize that they are, in fact, the answers that they were, whining at you about. That's my shitty point. People are fucking stupid, unfortunately, and that's why things are absolutely horrible these days, and assured to get worse. Spoke too soon about that fucking show, The Staircase. This is episode 3. And so far it's been, I think, 4 or 5 minutes of them building up to this. Again, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but we don't need it in the fucking programming at every single turn in the road. And it shouldn't be the most prominent thing in storytelling. But it is these days.